Yep, there he goes. Gang stalking helicopter. See, I told you he was coming. Their taxes for Los Angeles Police Department vehicles used to gang stalk harass for exposing reptilians on YouTube. Direct overhead. Direct overhead, Los Angeles Police Department gang stalker. Let's see if we can get him on camera here. So that's a rival home buzz for uploading reptilian shapeshifter movies revealing that we are ruled by reptilians.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about troubling and irresponsible, one-sided stories
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
So let this roll, not the whole thing.
Oh, painful.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias.
Okay, pause right there, Rob. Pause right.
Reptilians.
The reptilians.
The reptilian.
The reptilian. The reptilian.
Reptiles. They're ugly-looking lizard, alligator type people.
The Queen and Prince Philip are not human.
No.
I have been mocked, I've been laughed at, I've been attacked, I've been through every single thing you can imagine by trying to get this truth out there. I couldn't give a flying fuck what you react like. I am going to tell you the truth. They are reptilians. They shapeshift from human form into lizard form. I saw this with my own eyes. Many, many times. And trust me when I tell you, they are the most evil creatures that you could possibly imagine on this planet. When I was taken out for rituals in this place, the Queen would come out last because she was the master of ceremonies. Just like she leads this country, and Prince Philip is always second, she would come out last. She was the master of ceremonies.
You hear something spooky though? In 1884, Pope Leo XIII, they were doing mass at the Vatican Chapel, and then all of a sudden he just froze. They said that his face went white as a ghost, and he stood there in terror for 10 minutes. But he said he just received a vision. There was two voices that were speaking to him, one being Jesus and one being Satan.
Oh my gosh.
And this is how the conversation went. The guttural voice, the voice of Satan, in his pride boasted to our Lord,
I can destroy your church.
The gentle voice of the Lord said, you can? Then go ahead and do so. Satan said,
to do so I need more time and more power.
Then Jesus said, how much time and how much power?
75 to 100 years, and a greater power of those who will give themselves over to my service.
Then Jesus said, you have the time, you will have the power, do with them what you will.
It's like a Job situation.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Zendrius content provider, who, in case you didn't know, he made one of the best documentaries on the satanic alien deception called Conspiratus. And I think he's still got it up. I haven't really checked his channel, but anyway, that was one of the seminal movies that I watched when I was getting into dark truth revelation.
and Among Us Truthers. It's a classic. So look up Conspiratus. Anyway, he's got a good 8-minute video out right now talking about how Trump is basically continuing on the work of Bush, Obama, and all the rest of them.
Further, it is very important that the Russian government consider carefully their continued support of the Assad regime.
So will you and President Trump organize an international coalition to remove Assad?
Those steps are underway.
In 2001, former NATO General Wesley Clark was presented a classified memo which outlined several countries that NATO planned to invade.
This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
We're going to keep increasing the pressure on the Assad regime and working with the Syrian opposition.
What Russia and what Iran and what Syria have done recently is a humanitarian disgrace.
There's only a few more independent countries left that control their own oil and natural resources, namely Russia, China, Iran, and Syria. And each and every single one of those countries are being attacked as we speak through proxies such as NATO, Ukraine, and Israel.
The worst thing possible, they're both in on it. They're for terrorizing, doing terrorism on other countries so we could steal their natural resources for American corporations. They agree on imperialism, the thing we got to stop the most. The thing the left and the right agrees on the most, which is stopping these stupid regime change wars for capitalism so we can steal their natural resources.
We're keeping the oil. We have the oil. The oil is secure. We left troops behind only for the oil. We've taken control of the oil in the Middle East, the oil that we're talking about, the oil that everybody was worried about. The U.S. has control of that.
So I think Trump talks a good game. But what he actually does when he's in office is another matter. And I would note here, just as a final point, that Donald Trump, when he ran for president and in his initial few months in the White House, said that he wanted to improve relations with Russia. He viewed Putin as a friend. He wanted to put an end to NATO and get out of Europe. None of that happened. And in fact, what did happen is that in 2017, it was Trump who started arming the Ukrainians.
But yeah, people like Zendrius and the Call for an Uprising dude kind of snapped me out of because I mean, I want to believe, I want to think that Trump is on the right side of things, and that, you know, with Elon Musk, they're cutting the waste of fraud, and with RFK Jr., they're getting to some health issues, which, you know, it all looks good. I mean, I'm especially happy about, you know, some of the health measures that are now being implemented, you know, getting the dyes out, you know, just all kinds of stuff, and it seems like it's good news. I don't want to poo-poo it all, but at the same time, when you see that the warmongering, deep state stuff is still going on, then it kind of makes you think that the rest of it is just a cover to gain goodwill with the people that don't look deeper to see, you know, what's really going on. All right, so I'm trying to get a looking up at the figure pose, and I still haven't figured it out yet. You can see here, like I just was just sketching as a first attempt. I tried to do it, but it just didn't end up looking like a looking up at the character. And then I thought I would do a little bit more block work, you know, but I didn't quite get that off the ground. And then this one, it's kind of there, like, you know, I really haven't figured it out yet, but at least that looks like you're looking up at the character's face. But I still have a long way to go to figure it out. So it's a cool challenge. Man, we might actually be getting some spring rain here. Yeah, so you you guys may have heard this. I just saw this guy did a report on it that that there's all these Asian countries now that are banning Israeli tourists from entering the country, and there's like a significant number of them, and Thailand looks like they might be next on the list because they were complaining about Israeli travelers coming in and raising hell in the restaurants. Some kind of like they keep raising a commotion or something like that. And but boy, I tell you, it's really bad. I think that at the very least they've botched the PR thing. I mean, you know, they had the justification that they were attacked, but then it leaked out that they instigated the attack with suitcases full of cash for Hamas. And when people are desperate, they'll take the cash, and they threw the plan at them because basically what they want to do is turn around and nuke them, you know, so to speak. And it just ain't. And so I think that also the thing is, he was also saying that 80% of the Israeli population are supporting the basically the getting rid of the Palestinians. I mean, just not having a ceasefire and stopping the hostilities. So yeah, I mean that's really bad when you got Asian countries, because they Israelis have money. I mean, they and tourism is a huge part of countries like Thailand and Indonesia and those kind of places. They it's like a big thing in terms of money. And but boy, I saw some clips of some of the arrogance of some of these Israeli tourists, and this one young lady was refusing to take off her shoes. That was the custom in this one place, and then she started yelling at her that all of their money comes from Israeli tourists. So yeah, it was pretty bad PR. Oh crap, dude! Look this! Oh shit! Oh man! See, this is one of the problems. There's so many homeless people, and they're starting fires and stuff that. Yeah, this is Richard Bruce. I'm in downtown LA, 101 freeway, right next to the prison. I don't know what the off-ramp is. The prison house is right across the street, right in the middle of downtown LA. It's the Alameda exit, I believe, is where that is. Anyway, there's on the I think it's the east side. No, the north side. There's a homeless shelter next to the freeway on-ramp, and there's a fire smoldering, and it's deep into the thing. I tried to put some of it out. It's right next to a homeless tent. I yelled at the homeless tent. There doesn't seem to be anybody there.
Okay, let me bring on the fire department.
Just for the record, I called the fire department, and they came, and I saw them driving around, and they came right over here, and they came up here, and the guy was in plain sight right over there, and I waved to him, okay? Just for the record, in case this turns into a fire, because I poured all the water I had on this thing, and it's still smoldering, so that could still pick up and start, a fire in the whole area and cause a lot of damage. And the fire truck just rolled. They saw me waving to them like this, and they just kept on going. I don't know, maybe they're not worried about a fire right here or something. Now, as you can see from the video, that smoldering pile there, now it was flaming, okay? It wasn't just smoldering when I came up. It was like a ring of fire, and nobody else was pulling over, and it was by a homeless tent, and I thought if it's it could easily say it was in like a thick layer of leaves, dead leaves, that was at the base of these trees, and if the fire started picking up pace and then got up to those trees or whatever, it could have started a big deal. Now, if the fire trucks had gotten that far to where they're at the freeway entrance and they could see me waving at them, no question, at the very least at the second one, because I saw the guy looking out the window seeing me in it, okay? And as I told you, he just kept driving, and they never came back. And I'm standing there going like, huh? And so I've just been thinking about it while I've been driving here, and I gotta say, I mean, there's just no, because I mean, that could possibly have led to a tragic, you know, major fire damage to local buildings and businesses. Who knows? All of downtown LA could burn up. I mean, I know it's highly unlikely, but you know, I'm just saying that, you know, it could have been, it could have reached a car and someone's car could have burned up or something like that, you know. And you know, hopefully I got enough of it out, but it was still smoldering when I left. I'm gonna keep a shovel in my car from now on, because I didn't have anything to put it out with. But I just have to say again, thinking about that, that is there's just really not an excuse I can think of for them to come that close and then just drive off. And unless maybe they've been called there dozens and dozens of times and it doesn't turn into a fire or something, then maybe I can possibly understand. But even then, if they came all the way out and they were right there, they could have just pulled around and come down to where it was. But no, they stopped at this one area and they went to this lower freeway entrance, and then they went up and around. I don't know why they didn't pull just right in. They could have just pulled right in and pulled right up. But then they went around the block and up to the other street on the other side, to the other freeway entrance there, right across the street from the prison at the Alameda off-ramp. And they just stood there, and I'm seeing them see me. I'm standing there waving, going, hey, you know, with my arm fully out, waving to them. And I saw the guy in the back of the truck looking at me, and they're just sitting there, and the siren was blazing, and then they just kept driving straight down that street, whatever that next one after Alameda is, and they just kept going, and that's it. And I just stood there waiting. I'm like, what? Did they just drive off? Yeah. So if they drove out all that way and, you know, used the sirens and everything, they at least should have come by. Now, all I could think of is that maybe they thought I was a homeless guy. But if I was calling on a phone and I'm, you know, describing the situation, and you know, they should have at least come and check it out. You know, like maybe I was right, like, because it's burning under that thick layer of leaves, and it might, you know, start to peck back up and catch on those trees and then burn down people's cars that were parked in a little parking lot right there, or spread to the buildings, or who knows what. You know, you don't just, you know, you're the fire department. You come and make sure it's not a problem. Oh, look at all these houses, guys. God. Oh, man. Look at this, dude. It's the first time it's been open, or at least I've been down in this area. They finally opened it. Wow. Oh, man. Total burn down. Look at all this stuff over here, too. Oh, look, all these are multi-million-dollar beachfront houses, dude. Just wasted. Look at that, dude. Oh, man. Oh, all that gone. See, it's, even though the structure's intact, it's wasted, dude. Gone diddly on, man. Memories up in flames. Yeah, it's the first time I've driven by this. Got to see how devastated it got. Oh, man. and somehow everything up to here is was still good. Look, that house right there totally survived. Wow. Yeah, so I thought I would describe something to where I'm not sure that it was a message from the Lord. It could just be something else that's less flattering, okay? So I'm talking about what happened with my communication with Jimmy Payne. And so what happened was, he did this twice, actually. Previously, I was just chatting with him on email, and we didn't get into a fight about anything, or whatever. But if anything, he did express concern about my religion, even though he says that he's dual religion, Catholic and Native American Paiute. But and that could very well be it. But what he said was that he was switching email for security reasons. But and so he get it to a last point, and I said I don't think that's going to happen. And sure enough, actually in that case I was right, because he did actually cut me off, and didn't email me for a while, even though I was emailing to that same address. And I'm not going to keep it up forever, right? Because if he doesn't want to talk with me, fine. And that could be exactly what it is. Okay, you don't want to deflect from that. Maybe he just straight up didn't like me. And I think actually that is the case, because if he did like me and did consider me, someone that he wanted to converse with, that he wouldn't have done that. But then, as it turns out, I didn't know at the time, but his movies had disappeared off of YouTube, okay? And I made a movie about that. Obviously, Jimmy Payne movies gone from YouTube, and that's why I decided to, to take it up, because they were still up on Rumble. I didn't want to lose the information forever, because this is, absolutely groundbreaking information. And I just want to make clear that the reason I'm doing that was not because of, being for or against someone or being friends with someone. It was because this information is important. That's what I've, when I discover something, about fluoride in the water, or that you can't mention on YouTube, or something else, if they won't delete it, to upload it, because I'm Richard Bruce Truth Ministries. I upload the truth, the hard, dark truth. I have my folder called Dark Truth, and I upload stuff that is, is scary, dark, that not too many people know about and want to get it up and out there, right? So basically, so then he so after the first time stopping email, then he emailed me again, and he emailed me, like, I forget how it was, like 15, 20 emails with links to his Rumble page, which I've showed the screenshot here of that situation. And he didn't, let me just make clear, he didn't specifically say for me to upload his movies. I took it as an indication that he didn't want his archive, with the only person he was willing to talk with, James Rink, to be lost forever on, for YouTube. I don't think he uses Rumble, so he had, I forget how it was, maybe a couple of months or something like that, and then he emails me again with all this, and at the time I didn't even realize what he was saying, because he also said that his computer died at the same time, and he had to buy a new computer, so I thought what he meant was his computer died, just to clarify what happened. So I'm getting to what the new information is here, in case you all have, you already know this. But what happened was, so after that period of time, he emailed with me a bit more, and then once again he said that he was switching emails for security reasons, which I don't actually think he did. I think what he did was he decided that he didn't want to converse with me anymore, which, by the way, that could be for more than just security, as he mentioned. There's a variety of reasons. I'll tell you what my experience is when I've been emailing with people, and I've emailed people. It almost almost all the time it goes south. I'm sorry to say, I just either don't get along with people or whatever. But I think a lot of people have that similar experience, but they have a lot more people that they connect with. I totally admit I'm an isolated person. I don't necessarily get along with people as well as I would like to. Things do not go nearly as smoothly. I usually get betrayed, kicked in the nuts, and that's the end of it. Or something else, you know. Maybe it's because I'm a despicable figure, despite the fact that I make movies that people like to watch, apparently, in every country on earth that has the internet, according to YouTube. But in any case, so I just want to make clear that it could just be, you know, that he didn't, you know, he just didn't, you know, want to talk with me anymore. But here's what happened. Here's why I thought that it might be something else. Because the Lord is, you know, that the Spirit is called the set-apart Spirit, right? And this kind of developed over time, like people call the Holy Spirit the set-apart Spirit. But and basically, if you look it up, it's basically because there's a root Hebrew word, I forget what it is, but it basically means you know, to set apart for a holy life. Okay, and that also means that God also this rhymes with that. God sets aside the godly for Himself. Okay, so it is not without precedent or scriptural history for us to realize that God sets people apart. Okay, people that are His, that He is called to know Him. Okay, because God's people run around and have no idea that they are a created being. Okay, but and that God owns and controls everything, including the serpents and the main serpent in charge of this planet, the governor, as it were. But He is the king, okay, and he rules everything that goes on here ultimately. So I decided once again just to, you know, because first of all, I'll tell you, to me, I have tremendous respect. Yeah, by the way, Jimmy Payne hasn't even gotten to half of the movies that are based off of his adventures. Okay, I mean, this is an incredible individual. Okay, I couldn't kill one person with 5 bullets from a football field and a half away like he did in Vietnam. He killed 6 people with 5 bullets from a football field and a half away. Yeah, okay, so somebody who can do that is an extraordinary person. They have extraordinary talents, shall we say? Okay, but in any case, so I was gonna email him again because I was just, you know, it was a little bit, you know, I didn't want to be pestering him, you know, but I did want to, you know, talk to him about something else, and I just thought I would email him. And in the middle of the email, I got like a really bad headache all of a sudden out of nowhere, and I just sat there. What? You know, it wasn't from any. I couldn't figure it out. What is it? What is it? And I just sat there going, what? Because it's like it just boom, just came upon me. Now, then I realized, okay, wait a minute. I'm in the. What am I doing? This might be a reproof. What am I doing? I'm right in the middle of trying to contact this fellow. Okay, I was halfway through writing an email, and so since then, as I thought about it, it seemed to be a message that the Lord was saying, I don't want you communicating with that individual. Okay, now I could be totally wrong. That's just a guess. You know, once again, with these reproofs of instruction, a lot of times you don't know for sure. But yeah, right in the middle of doing something, it kind of looked like it, but once again, don't know. So, and that's basically kind of what's happened. But I don't, you know, I'm not coming to any sort of, you know, negative conclusion about Jimmy or anything like that. I will say this though, there was a little bit of a dark vibe that I got from this one time I was communicating with him. But you know, somebody else said, he even says in one of his videos that somebody else said that about him. But you know, who doesn't have some dark stuff? You know, who doesn't have some darkness there to be wary of? You know what I mean? So who knows what the truth is. See all this here? All this, man, is just gone. Once again, these are multi-million-dollar houses. Look, there's someone's Volkswagen. Oh man! Just think of how much money just the houses on the beach represent. Because these are, look at this, dude. Look at this. Look at these cars, guys. It just burned everything up. Look at this, man. Oh, look, someone's Porsche right there. Oh. Man. That's the first time I've been seeing it. Oh, look at that, man. Just gone, dude. It's weird. Maybe they cleared the rubble out, but it's like there's like nothing left. I've seen that before where it's like, it doesn't make any sense why there's so little wreckage. Oh man, all these houses, dude. Well, it's a plus. Cleared out some more ocean view for this drive here. Look at that. Somebody's Mercedes burned up. Look at that. Oh, later. Oh, look at this, guys. Oh, man. Car burned up right in the garage. It's interesting. It's so much wreckage that they couldn't even clear out these burned cars. Oh, man. Incoming helicopter here as I approach home. Let's have a close-up shot. Here he comes. Looks like a gang stalker headed for a direct overhead. Direct overhead. Your taxes for gang stalking helicopters for exposing reptilian shapeshifters living among us. In scene 29, there's some serious shapeshifting. This bath scene will start with the hand, and his hand starts turning into all kinds of strange shapes. In particular, you'll see in this example the two center fingers weld together. Keep in mind again that the pixels and blurring is an unfortunate side effect of zooming in on what is really a much smaller shot. And if you'll keep watching here, you'll notice that the two center fingers will weld together, and you'll also notice that the end finger there starts turning into a bulb of some kind, and then you'll also notice a interesting curving shape at the top. Now you see there the fingers, the two center fingers definitely weld together, and I'll go back and forth over this so that you can see it more clearly. And here I'm going to go back and forth a little bit slower. This is forward. Right there, boom, see? Two center fingers come together. And it's really quite odd. If you're watching this, it's not too late. Say this prayer now. Father in heaven, please save my soul by the work of your Son Jesus on the cross, and show me your pure words in the authorized King James Bible.